Hey, how's it going, man? So, in today's video, we would be just simply discuss how to easily get into a flow state. So, my name is Harry. I'm a peak performance coach, and I specifically work with high performing coaches and consultants. But aside that, I also like to provide free content on YouTube. So, you can watch it, and if it helps you improve your life or something, you can just simply comment down. And first of all, first, let's just simply see what's written in the introduction, right? So, welcome to this video. Most of you already know what it feels like to be in a zone, right? But it might be hard to enter it. Well, your best performance happens when you stop thinking and fully focus. And after watching this video, I can give you this thing guaranteed that you'll know exactly what's stopping you from entering your flow state and how to fix it. Pay attention here. I request you to pay attention here because if you pay the attention here, the things that you are about to watch will completely change how you perform. So, to understand it even better, first of all, let's just simply understand what exactly a flow state is. A flow state, often called being in the zone, is a mental state where you become so deeply focused on an activity that everything else seems to disappear. You're not just doing a task, you're completely absorbed in it, and your actions feels natural and effortless, right? So this is what exactly a flow state means. And to help you get into a flow state, what exactly I've done is I've written 8 best performing flow state secrets that if all applied together properly, not only reaching the flow state, fuck, why I'm messing around here? Excuse me. So, not reaching a flow state would feel impossible, right? So, let's begin. The first thing, flow is not happiness. A lot of people misunderstand that being in a flow state means you would be happy, you would be excited, you would be motivated, and you would be doing the work. It is completely the opposite. When you are in a flow state, you are so focused that you forget yourself. You don't feel happy or excited. You feel nothing at all because all your attention is on the task. For example, watching your favorite web series, you can name it. And when you're watching your favorite web series, you're already in a flow state, but you're not happy, you're not excited, you're not anything, you're just focused on this thing. You don't think about any other thing, you don't think about, oh, what I have to do with my life or whatsoever. You're just simply so focused in the scene, what's going on, and that is exactly what you want to happen in your business. And to make it happen in your business, the action item for this point is 5 minutes of meditation or 5 minutes of silent focus on one task. Now, I don't just want to simply give you some advice without actually telling you what exactly it does, how it does, and why you actually have to do this. So when you're practicing meditation every single day for 5 minutes or maybe doing something else just like that, what happens is your brain actually trains itself, right? So when your brain actually is focusing on the meditation, focusing on the breath, what happens is random thoughts starts to come up. And with meditation, what exactly happens is those thoughts get to silent themselves and you can just simply focus on the thing that you are doing. For example, in meditation you focus on your breath, but you can, if you're meditating, that thing will also show up in your business while you are working on the projects that you have to do, the important things, while you're doing the deep work sessions. If you regularly consistently meditate, it would be very easy for you to be in a flow state. Do not get distracted, do not overthink or do any of those things, right? Makes sense. Let's move on to the next thing. Flow happens when skill and challenge match. It's pretty interesting. If something is too easy, you get bored, and if something is too hard, you get stressed, right? So, what you need to do is make your task in a way that they are not so much easy and they are also not so much hard at the same time, because the flow happens when it is hard but doable. For example, your favorite video game. For me, it's kind of chess because chess is also kind of very much similar to the real life, and you learn a lot of things about life while playing chess. So, what happens in the chess is, for example, if I'm 1500 rated in chess and my opponent is also 1500 rated, it would be easy for me. It would be the flow state would come naturally. But if I'm playing with a guy who is like a grandmaster, maybe 3000 rating, or if I'm playing with a very new player who has never played a single game of chess in his whole life, then it would be either too easy for me or too hard for me, and I would just not focus on the game and I would pretty much lose. You get my point, right? How you can convert this thing into your business. The action item is write down one skill you need to improve to reach your goal. Work only on that. You don't need to work only a stupid thing or maybe very easy thing that you know you have to do. or you don't have to even do all of the things at the same time, because if you're doing something that you know it's pretty easy for you, then you will get bored. But if you're doing all the things at the same time, you will be getting stressed. So the easiest thing to make flow state happen here is focus on one thing you actually know that this thing will move me forward. It could be anything. It's not necessary that you have to learn a new skill. Whatsoever you are doing currently to improve, whatever thing that you're doing to improve yourself and to reach your goal, just see what's stopping you and focus on only one thing that is stopping you. Make sense? The next point: thinking less makes you perform better. In flow state, what happens is your brain stops talking so much and you stop overthinking. So your body and mind just do the job automatically. For example, the addicts, the people who are addicted to maybe watching porn, smoking weed, or video games, playing those type of things. These are the people, they don't know what's going on. Their brain stops talking. They're just like, they don't overthink or they do not do anything. Their body moves randomly. It's just like your body wants something else, but your mind says, give this thing to me. So your body listens to your mind. So the main thing while becoming or getting into a flow state is just simply controlling your mind. It's simple as that. If you control your mind, your body will listen. And the action item here is just start as soon as possible. This is a very interesting and helpful action item because, for example, you have to do 100 messages right now for your business to get some sales calls today, right? So if you're thinking, well, should I do like this? Should I do like that? Should I do right now? What is the best time? You're just wasting time. And when you're thinking less, you do more. But at the same time, if you're doing the opposite, like thinking more, then you will just do less. So the easiest thing to get into a flow state at this moment would be just start as soon as possible. The less you think, the more you do, right? The next thing: distraction skills flow. A lot of people already know this thing, but they do not know this thing in a precise and correct way. So, phones, noises, people, thoughts, all of them break flow. You do not want to get disturbed anytime when you are in a flow state. So, even one small distraction can pull you out. Exactly. So, the example here is your phone right in front of your eyes. So, the phone is kind of a tool that if you're working and your phone is not even on the volume, it is on do not disturb, the volume is turned off, but even if your phone is right in front of your eyes, your thoughts will come and it would be very hard for you to work, right? So the action item for you would be fix your environment. Now this is a very broad thing: fix your environment. What exactly I have to fix, what exactly I have to figure out, I'm here to explain, right? So you want to make your environment designed in such a way that work becomes pretty easy for you. You don't have to force yourself. The environment forces you to work. If you have games on your phone, you just simply delete it. And it's not just simply deleting it, because you can reinstall it every single day. So for example, if you play a game where you have coins, what exactly you can do it before deleting the game, finish all the coins so that when you start again, it would be very hard for you to get to your goal. And it could be done to anything. The main motive behind this thing is do it kind of permanently, because if you do it just temporarily, for example, just deactivating or deleting your Instagram, you could just simply reinstall it in a matter of time and it would be very easy for you to do so. But if you remove all the following, you delete your account, every single thing, then it would be very hard for you, and your mind would say this thing to you like, don't do this thing, don't do this thing, blah blah whatsoever. But you have to decide, you have to make sacrifices for your goals, and you do not want your goal to become the sacrifice, right? So you have to fix your environment, do whatever it takes. The more you think that, oh, I don't want to do this thing because of XYZ reasons, the more you have to do that thing first. Make sense? Okay, the fifth point. You need a routine before starting. This is very important because a lot of people, what exactly they do is they wake up and they do not know what to do. They know their tasks, but they don't have a routine. So they're overwhelmed by seeing all their task lists and every single thing. So you know the story, right? The person do not does any work. So doing the same thing before you start helps your brain switch on. For example, music, warm up, deep breaths. Keep it simple and repeat it every single time and make it a routine for you to work. For example, athletes listening to the same music before a game. That is very much true. You can do this thing, copy paste this thing exactly in your business and perform well, but you can take it on another level, which is with that thing. That is something that I do, right? It is the action item for this step is plan your day one night before. So when you're planning your day one night before, you exactly know at what time you have to wake up, at what time you have to eat, at what time you have to do the work, And not only just write it broadly work, also write what work exactly you have to do. Is it I have to make some inbound thing? Is it I have to attend the sales call? Whatsoever you have to do, plan your day. One day, the night before, you have to do the work, and your productivity would be just simply 50% increase just by having this type of routine, and it is really very helpful. If you want to take any lesson from this whole video, the one lesson that is the most important lesson is this fifth one, and the action item is the most important thing. Is this thing, it's like plan your day one night before. Just try this thing. You would maybe not feel good or whatsoever, but you have to do this thing, and this would be the game changer for you. Remember what I said you in the starting: if you follow all of these things, being in a flow state would feel impossible. So you might be having some resistances inside of your body telling you, I do not want to do this thing because of any XYZ reasons, but you know what you have to do, right? You're smart. The sixth thing: practice is non negotiable. If you do not practice, the flow will not come. I cannot just simply make a 10-minute video like this and try to explain you, oh, it is very easy to get in a flow state. If you follow all the other things, it would be easier, but it's really not that easy to just watch a 10-minute video and get into a flow state. So what exactly you have to do? If you do not practice, flow won't come. You cannot fake it. Confidence comes from repetition. If you think that you can say yourself, oh, I'm very confident, I will go to the gym, because if I've never went to the gym before and I go to the gym very confident, people would see, oh, how confident I am, and people will like me. No, it do not happens. When you see other people around who are winners kind of in the gym and they have a very big physique, you cannot just be confident randomly. If you have done something in your life, that's the only moment when you feel confident. I'm going to the gym since maybe 5 years now, and I feel confident. I do not care about how I look. I know I'm looking kind of good. Even if I'm looking stupid, I just still have the confidence inside of me because I'm going to the gym for 5 years, and I have a lot of things that I've done in my life. So it's kind of easier for me. So that is the same thing. If you practice every single day, your confidence would be pretty much easy to have, and that's the reality. Practice is non-negotiable. This is the truth. Maybe you didn't want it to hear it, but you have to hear it, right? You cannot just simply be in a flow state in just one day. It maybe take you a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatsoever, but practice is something that makes a man perfect, right? For example, playing chess, you make mistakes, you learn, you get better every single day. And the action item for this practice thing is practice the exact skill you want to improve every day. For example, if you're new to the business or coaching or consultant thing, what exactly happens is you are just simply, for example, let's say you don't know how to attend sales calls properly. You don't know the skill that is sales, right? You don't know how to properly sell. So if you practice this thing every single day, you can just simply improve this thing, and there is nothing. You may be understanding one thing, but it's not like the prospect would be just simply giving you one objection or something like that. You have to practice all of it, and when you practice every single day, the confidence comes there and you become better, and your business becomes profitable, right? Okay, the seventh thing: focus on one small goal. Don't think about winning or the result. Think about the next action only. One shot, one step, one move. Simple as that. For example, it would be easier for you to understand from the example and the action item, because here it was kind of little bit messy, so I made it easier to explain in the example and the action item. For example, you send 300 messages every single day instead of saying I would make $10,000 per month. And the action item is set inputs as your goals and not outputs. You get what I'm trying to say? If you set your goal, I want to become a millionaire in 2026, it may be happen, but if you set input goals like what are the input goals I need to make sure I do to become a millionaire, that would have a higher likelihood of your goals to be accomplished, right? So if you say I would send 300 messages every single day, it's more likely that you will complete this goal. This thing is in your hand, and you would be able to make your 10K per month goal if you're currently, for example, new in this business thing. But if you just simply say I want to make 10,000, but you do not know how to make it, you don't have a plan, you don't have the right inputs, then what would the output be? You have to make it kind of systematic for your business, for yourself, for every single thing you do. Every single thing you do in your life must have some systems around it, so that it is kind of not easy to fail, right? The next thing, the last thing actually, you must enjoy what you're doing. For example, the flow state only comes when you actually like the activity. If you hate it, your brain will fight it. Have you ever tried to do something that you know that you have to do, but your brain hates it, so you don't do it? It most of the time happens in the business. You know you have to do it, but your brain hates it, so you don't do it. You time pass here and there, do some things that you know you should not be doing. You should be working on the business, but you do here and there. And the example, for example, this is kind of my example. A young entrepreneur does not like to study computer science because he is more motivated to run a business. And what he does is he relates computer science to his business and how learning computer science will help him in his business. For example, the computer science, what exactly it does is the emotion side is gone. You only think logically, and you can well define every single thing. You track the metrics properly. All of these small things that you learn in computer science, all of those things can actually help you in your business also. And the action item is pretty simple: turn boring work into a game connected to your goal. Again, this action item is pretty much broad, but again, I'm here for you to explain properly what exactly it is. So when your life is kind of like a game, you do it properly. For example, if you have inputs and outputs in your life, you know, if I'm giving this input, I would receive that output. It's pretty easy to judge your life based on what inputs you're giving. If you have a goal and you have well defined inputs that will make sure that your goal is the reality, which is the output afterwards, then you're more likely to achieve your goal. Whereas if you just simply say, oh, I want to make a million, but you don't have a system, you don't have proper inputs. And by proper inputs, I mean if your body is properly not in the flow state, it's not working properly. You may be doing that thing for 10 hours a day, but the other guy does the same output in just 2 or 3 hours, right? So it makes sense. I hope all these actionable points that I've mentioned in this video helped you in some way. If you include all of these things in your life in some way or another, I repeat that being in a flow state, not reaching a flow state would feel impossible. That's pretty much it for the video. If you want to get some more help on this thing other than this video that I've already given some free value, you can check out the link in description, but it's not something that you must do. If you feel like doing it, just do it. There's nothing harm in doing it, right? So that's all. I'll see you in the next video. Until that time, just take care.